Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, 2013. It is the first day of the month. It is also May Day in Germany, so most of the, May Day in Europe, so most of the European markets are closed today. I believe the London market is still open, if I'm not mistaken, but I think all the rest of the markets in most of the other markets in Europe are closed today for the May Day holiday. There are a few things to go over. We'll take a look at the S&P 500 first here, and what you'll see is that the futures actually are trickling lower. They're flat on the session, right around 1591.75 now. So they're actually negative by a half a point at the moment. So we're not going to make too much out of it. It looks like the ADP payroll report, the government payroll report, will be this Friday, but the ADP job report was just released. Private sector jobs for the month of April the U.S. added 119,000. That's the number. It's pretty dire considering economists were looking for 150,000, but it still is a bullish number, believe it or not, because it just tells you that the Fed is going to continue to print more money and keep the pedal to the metal. So, it may on the top line or in the headline sound bearish, but the reality of it is bad news is good news because the central banks will keep propping up the stock market. And that's really the bottom line and the truth of the matter. So 119,000 private sector jobs according to ADP. This coming Friday, we're going to have the non-farm payroll report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Department of Labor, and we'll see what that number is. But any way you slice it or dice it, right now, not a good number, but a good number for the stock market, in my opinion, as it just tells you the central bankers are going to be right in there propping up the stock market, buying more treasuries and more mortgage-backed securities. They're not going to let their foot off the gas at all. So again, that's the news this morning. Other news out there, if you take a look at the European markets last night, they were a mixed bag of tricks. You did have the Nikkei 225, which is Japan, down about almost a 0.5%. The Shanghai was down another percent last night, so the Shanghai really is having trouble, and that is mainland China. The Hang Seng was up okay. That was up 0.7%, and India, I believe, was up 0.6%. Singapore was basically flat. So we're not going to make too much out of the Asian markets, but again, Chinese ADRs, you got to be a little bit careful here. We saw Baidu the other day. That stock was just annihilated after earnings. Again, it's trading around $85 and change, but ultimately looks very, very weak and poor on the charts, if you ask me. So just keep that on the radar. But Chinese ADRs, some are showing strength, some are not, but you have to be very, very careful with them at this stage of the game right now. A couple of big stocks in the news today. MasterCard getting hit a little bit. The stock closed yesterday at an all-time high of $553. Today it's trading at $543. Reported earnings this morning. I guess their earnings, you're seeing a little sell-off, and their earnings weren't terrible, just that the stock is a little bit overbought at the moment and profit-taking coming in. Another company, though, that did report earnings today, let me just make sure I have it right here, is Merck. Merck is getting hit a little bit. I have a level for Merck. Let's punch up the chart. But I do have a gap level for Merck. Merck is getting hit ahead of the opening bell. So that one is getting hit a little bit. They also cited a stronger dollar for their earnings miss. So that's one you want to watch this morning. That is a big name, and we'll have a gap level for you before the opening bell. You do have a whole lot of other stocks reporting earnings, but that's really one of the big ones that I'm seeing here this morning. Those two, MasterCard and Merck. And I have a bunch of gap plays set to go out right around 9 o'clock. Let's take a look at a couple of other things real quick. We do have economic data today. ADP is done. That was released already at 8:15. Around 9 o'clock, I think we're going to have PMI for the month of April. We're going to have ISM at 10 o'clock. And then I believe we have construction spending at 10 o'clock as well. The big news today will be at 2:15 when the Federal Reserve announces its monetary policy decision. Everybody expects things to stay status quo, which means that the Fed funds rate, the overnight lending rate to the big banks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citi, and Bank of America will stay at 0%. And also the quantitative easing that's in place, $85 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities in U.S. Treasuries, will continue to remain the same. Nobody's expecting really any change, myself included. I do not expect any change out of the Fed. They're just going to continue to say things are, the same old story, but we're going to keep printing. That's really what it comes down to. So that's what you want to watch for. You're also going to have the car makers, the automakers, report April sales figures throughout the day. Again, I don't know how much we can make out of it, but we'll see how it plays out. Let's take a look at gold this morning. Gold is trading lower by 6 points to $1,466 an ounce. A little bit strange that gold is down so much since the dollar has sold off pretty sharply. Here you can see the dollar down a bit, but let's take a look at the GLD. GLD is a good proxy for gold. You'll see that is trading at 141.80 at the moment. It closed at 142.77, so pretty decent little drop in the GLD, and spot gold is down about $6 at the moment. Looking at light sweet crude is getting hammered this morning. Light sweet crude is down $1.56 to 91.89 a barrel. If you take a look at the USO, you'll see the USO is trading at $32.75. Decent little dip. Yesterday it closed at $33.16. But light sweet crude getting hit a little bit today. And that's a little bit strange to see, even with the dollar down. Normally when the dollar goes down, light sweet crude will get a bid. Crude could be talking to us a little bit. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover this morning. Again, we'll have some gap plays up there posted at around 9 a.m. You do have a lot of stocks reporting earnings. I only talked about a couple here today, but either way, there should be some decent volatility, especially with all the economic data surrounding us, and then the Fed announcement. Traders should expect the market to slow down pretty much around 11 o'clock, 11:30, and then the market will be on pause really for the Fed announcement, which is at 2:15 this afternoon. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Have a great trading session and have a great day, and I'll see you all on the charts.